Hey, welcome back, Veteran Nation fans. And today, wow, we have a developing story. It's funny because I've got all my people out there who they're watching what's going on, and it's funny. They report back to me when I get something that it appears more than one person, even if they haven't confirmed it to me, if it appears that they have confirmed it, that's when I start asking questions. I've been around the block for a little bit. I know generally what's going on. When you hear things and based upon your experience, you can start putting puzzle pieces together. There's a couple stories I've been tracking. For those of you who watch the channel, you've seen me already push out one thing about it. It's the child abuse at the CDC at Marine Corps Air Station Yuma. So be on the lookout. I'm going to be coming out with that video. But it seems like what I previously published about the two individuals who were, or the one who's been convicted, the other one who's waiting to be convicted, there's a lot more on the surface of that one. Families who are being affected by this. But this one here, as you all know, I have a long history with McCagsey 29 Palms. I know where the corruption lies. I know what looks right, what smells right. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. I always try to confirm these things before I go. That's why, for those of you who watched my IG complaint, I did that video, and I'll be doing one on the Marine Corps Air Station Yuma as well. We're always going to keep doing IG complaints because we're going to highlight these things and show them to you. This one, I don't know if it rates an IG investigation. It definitely, I'm doing this because I know that there are people at McCagsey watching this channel, and I'm watching you. So I'm going to put this one up. This is what was sent to me. This week I was driving around base looking for curb alerts in Adobe. Adobe's a section of base. Yesterday, and someone had a burned animal in their trash. It looked like a dog. It was sticking out, and I had my child with me. That's absolutely unacceptable. I have the picture, but I don't want to upset others. Please, if this is you, realize that this was disturbing for others. Realize there are better ways to properly take care of your animals. This is depressing and sad. And then other commenters said, okay, so like a month ago, this kid who PMO named, and they blocked out the name, thankfully, killed one of his pet goats, and they made burrito. They keep goats as pets. They eat them, apparently. He gloated about how good it was, even shared a video of him shooting the goat in the back of the head while it was in a dog crate in the back of his truck on Facebook. There have been multiple posts about him lighting a coyote on fire in Adobe sometime in the last 48 hours. And then another poster said the coyote thing is in Air It Out, and Air It Out is one of the groups, and there are solid 5 or 6 posts saying he did it. One suggests that the coyote was already dead, but honestly, that doesn't make it a whole lot better. He always says they live off base, so what the F was going on in Adobe burning a coyote and ditching it in a trash can? That's where it was brought to me. Lots of people are talking about it in multiple forums. So I took it to one of my groups, and I just said, "Hey, what the F is going on?" It's funny because, people were talking about it and whatnot. This person responded to my post. They said, "Y'all are ridiculous. Yes, we bought a goat from a goat farm to eat it. No better way to get fresh meat. Yes, he shot it because it kind of has to be dead before we started skinning it and separating the meat. Yes, he legally hunted a coyote and skinned it for the pelt. No, we don't want to eat coyote meat, so he's disposed of the carcass. No, we didn't illegally dump it in the desert. Yes, he disposed of it the proper way. Yes, y'all's feelings are really hurt that we eat fresh meat and use real fur. No, that is not the problem." And I just responded. I wanted to get some confirmation. "So you burn an animal in the trash on base, is that correct?" She said, "No, that's not correct. Please learn how to read, sir." Well, you said you disposed of it the proper way. I was trying to find out how that is. What I have in front of me is that it was burned in the trash. Solid 5 or 6 people. I've got 2 different posters here saying that same thing. The goat I really don't have a problem with, other than I do have a question if it was shot, was it on base? Because there's an issue there of livestock coming aboard the base, and as you know, we've been talking about all these base issues, and yeah, livestock. The other big flag for me is that someone said it was PMO. Now, I have a long history of PMO. In fact, I've got videos on this channel of PMO violating my rights. I've got more stuff. But I do know for a fact PMO on 29 Palms does not do the right thing. As I go through, how is it disposed of? Can you provide any proof? My proof is my word, so we don't go around burning animals. If you don't believe me, I'm sorry. That's not a me problem. I can't help that people see a skinned animals for the first time in their life and assumed it's burned, even though it's not charred or smells burned. Well, that's fine, but I've got people here stating that it was burned. Who do I believe? There's two people here stating that it was burned. And the other thing I'll say is, at least for the initial poster, and I'll put it back up. They clearly saw the carcass. Now, I would say the way to properly dispose of an animal carcass would be to double bag it. Wild animals out here. If you just throw something in the trash, got after by the birds and the squirrels, well, not the squirrels, but squirrels, coyotes, any other type of varmints, desert rats, things like that are out here. I just have to laugh about this. If you didn't do anything wrong, just say, here's what we did. And but instead, this individual was pretty rude, especially when I was just asking questions. People do not like it when you ask questions. They don't like it at all. People who are bringing me these stories, I have to, check them out, and if other people are talking about them. So because she was so rude to me, I took her profile picture, which appears to be of a Marine, and I said, what is the Marine's full name? I asked for it, so when I publish my news story, yay, I can have it spelled correctly. Can you confirm this is him in the picture? And I was told, sir, please stay in your lane since you clearly know nothing about us. This is my lane. Yeah, this is my lane. Welcome to my lane. I report about things going on in the military. We talk about them. I comment on them. She went back and forth with me. People asked me where the story would be published. I told them the YouTube channel. I don't know if I'll push this to Right America Media. We'll see. It depends on what I can get verified. I know how PMO is. Do as I say, not as I do type of approach to things. People were posting different things, and they did post this here. So apparently this is the Marine here. Obviously, he posts as a Marine. He posts as a PMO Marine. Not a very smart thing to do. I don't know if he's been properly trained on the Navy's social media policy, but he posts quite a bit. He reacted to my post. The name matches the name of the family member who was claiming that they did everything right. And again, I've offered, if he wants to come on the show and explain what happened, I'm happy to have him. Happy to have him. I was here when PMO had an officer suggest putting armed people in Mercy Air. For those of you who don't know, Mercy Air is the life flight that they use from the base. We had an officer who suggested, because we had scrappers on the base, putting an armed person in Mercy Air to shoot at the scrappers to discourage them. Like lethal force for a non-lethal crime. In the unit, when PMO tasered a Marine who was sleeping. He was fast asleep, and they tasered him because he wasn't following their commands. Gee, you really think why? With that case, no one was held accountable. The video here on my channel where PMO had put a bolo out for me, and at the end of the bolo, the sergeant, the patrol sergeant, lies to me and says that I cannot get aboard the base but once a month, which is completely and totally false. So I'll keep an eye on this. If anyone knows firsthand the stuff about this, please reach out to me, veterannation@protonmail.com. Hopefully, we can expose some of these things that are happening on the bases. Like I said, look for that video of the child abuse at Yuma. That'll be coming out. And if you have any tips or anything, it's in the scroll down here. Yep, right there it is. veterannation@protonmail.com. Reach out to me. Send me everything you can on the story. I will run with it, whatever I can. And as usual, thank you for being worth serving. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.